And welcome to round 4 of 5 at Friday Night Modern at GameSwap in Mason, Ohio. Mark had to go, so I just got my friend Patrick Narsavage, if some of you are familiar with.
What's up, guys?
So we got Joey Murphy on Boros Burn versus Nate Lang on Grixis Death Shadow.
Yeah, and this is a matchup that I actually have a lot of familiarity with. I used to play Burn a lot in Modern.
Alright, and I used to play Grixis Death Shadow.
Yeah, so, and this is, once Grixis Death Shadow started getting popular again, I actually switched back to Burn off of Abzan.
Alright.
Because this is a matchup that I actually really enjoyed playing. I think it involves a lot of skill, and it's normally very interactive, and it's almost like a game of chicken.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that. Like, sometimes you just... If the Grixis Death Shadow player has the turn 2 Tasker or Gurmag Angler, it gets a lot harder for Burn. Yeah, that's for sure.
One of the ways that Burn can very easily lose.
Yeah, especially like game 1s, because without the path in game 1 is hard.
Yeah, you normally have to spend like a Lightning Helix and a bolt or 2 bolts or something.
Or like your creature in a Serum, like creature Serum Blaze is like the best way to deal with a Tasker or Gurmag Angler.
Yeah, and that's not the worst trade in the world, but it's still not a hugely favorable trade.
Yeah, because like your creature's dying.
Yeah, looking at Joey's hand here, it looks like he's got 2 lands, a lot of 1-mana burn spells, and I believe he doesn't have a creature. It looks like it's 2 lands, a Rift Bolt, triple Lava Spike, Lightning Helix.
I like that.
That is only 15 points of burn, so he's going to need to draw 2 more burn spells to actually finish the game.
On his own.
On his own, yeah. And so this is one of the matchups that you can get a lot of help by killing them, but you really need to have that consistent source of creature damage to be able to put them in a place where their life total is actually in
some sort of duress.
Yeah, because the way you're going to approach this matchup as the Burn player is you're going to approach this almost like a combo deck. You're going to need to make sure that you don't put them too low too quickly, otherwise they could just like play 2 shadows and just kill you.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So you definitely need to approach this as get some early chip damage in with creatures, let them hurt themselves a little bit, and then play 3 burn spells in 1 turn, try to kill them that way, and then win like that. Nate, however, is going to probably be, now that he's seen Rift Bolt, a little more conscious of his life total. He's still going to fetch shock semi-aggressively, but he's definitely going to want to watch what he's doing, make sure he doesn't put himself too low. And we're going to see here
the basic swamp.
Yeah, the basic swamp. He knows what he's doing. He's being careful. Especially because Joey didn't have a turn 1 creature, he's realized that Joey's going to probably do most of the work for him.
Yep.
So what Nate's probably going to try to do, you can see in his hand he's got Thoughtseize, which is going to gain him essentially 1 life here.
Yeah, especially with the Boros Charm.
Yeah, he's going to want to take a Lava Spike just because it's a lot more mana efficient than Lightning Helix. The 3 life for Joey shouldn't matter too much, and Nate's probably just going to want to take one of the Lava Spikes to...
I mean, Nate's going to 10 on his turn, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I would actually prefer... Ooh, Swift Spear is a big draw here. So here you probably fetch shock at Sacred Foundry, play Swift Spear, Lava Spike Nate. Swift Spear's not going to be that much damage, just because Nate does have a copy of Lightning Bolt in hand to clear that up. But he is going to need to probably fetch shock to cast Lightning Bolt, because I don't think he wants to just crack a Scalding Tarn to get a mountain. And I'm actually going to assume that he doesn't have a mountain. So this is going to be awkward for Nate.
But he does have a Fatal Push.
He does have a Fatal Push in hand. Okay, so he's going to be able to...
But he does have Death Shadow, but for him to be able to like double spell next turn, he will have to fetch shock.
Yeah, he's going to see this Monastery Swift Spear here played from Joey, so he's going to know the entirety of Joey's 2-card hand.
So Nate's going to 9.
Correct. Nate is going to 9, and...
So I was wrong. He's going to 9.
Yeah.
10.
And that's not one of the cards he wants to see in this matchup. He just drew a copy of Street Wraith. Definitely. Those are the first 4 cards coming out for Nate when he boards in this matchup.
Yeah, totally. I boarded that card out all the time. Also, if you're curious what did happen to Mark, he vanished.
Yeah, just vanished out of thin air.
Yeah, he was getting too lame for me, so I got someone cooler.
So
we got a 4/4 Death Shadow.
Yeah, we have 4/4 Death Shadow, which is a nice little clock. If I was if Nate here knows he cannot fetch shock.
Because he's dead.
He won't necessarily be dead. Joey can't cast both spells in his hand.
If he draws land.
Yeah, he would have to draw land. Okay, that is...
Woo, baby!
Yeah, so... Thankfully for Nate, these are both sorceries, so he can't get gotten by just, like, fetch shock and response bolt bolt.
Yeah.
So... Looks like Joey's either just going to pass or Nate is fetching before combat. And if Nate fetch shocks... And...
Oh, he's at 8. Now, I like this patience by Joey.
Yeah, I definitely do too. End step, he's going to... Because he knows he has the win next turn, barring something like Stubborn Denial.
Yeah, like...
So if Nate has a Stubborn Denial in his hand, he's definitely going to have to be conscious of that and hold on to that.
Also, Nate does have to play defensive right here.
He doesn't have to play that defensive. He can untap and Fatal Push this...
Yeah.
What's it called? Oh, God. That's double Street Wraith drawn in a row.
I would cycle it here just to send a message.
No, you can't. Your out here is a Fatal Pushing the Swift Spear, attacking. Well, you can attack. Give him the chance to block. I think no. You Fatal Push. You want to get the damage in.
Yeah.
And then you have to hold up Stubborn Denial, I guess. And hope that Joey...
Joey, do not lighten helix right now. You take less damage.
Technically, you take the same amount of damage. But it looks like Nate here, before damage, is going to be cycling Street Wraiths.
All right.
And that's just going to be lights out here. He can't counter both burn spells.
He even drew a Stubbs right here, I think. I could be wrong.
I think he drew Snapcaster Mage. He drew a blue card. Even if it was Stubborn Denial, it does not matter.
Yeah, you're right.
Joey casts Lightning Helix on the end step.
And
Nate falls to 3, and then double Lava Spike cleans it up.
He could cycle the Illustrate Wraith and go to 4 to counter that one and hope he doesn't have double burn spell in hand. But since we know...
He knows at least about one of them. He just put himself to 3.
Yeah.
And you see Lava Spike. And yeah, he doesn't even have the Stubborn Denial in his hand. So in response, you might see Cycle Street Wraith try to find that and then bolt himself in response. I don't know.
Yeah. Nate does not... Is that how Nate normally looks? He does not seem happy about that match.
Nah, he's fine. I think he knows that the way the matchup works, he got unlucky drawing double Street Wraith. It's really not a card you want to see in this matchup.
No, you don't.
So we're definitely gonna see those come out from Nate. What's gonna come in is probably some number of Dispels.
Liliana's?
If he has them. Liliana's not bad. It's expensive as a threat here. Really what you want to do against Burn is just play a Delve threat or a larger Death Shadow.
Yeah, I just know like Liliana's still very effective against the Burn deck still.
Yeah, it's still effective, but this is a deck that it doesn't always get to 3 lands. You saw that match; he was on 2 lands for the entirety of the game. So Liliana could be a thought if there's something else in his main deck that he wants to board out. I don't know the contents of his sideboard. You could see some number of Collective Brutalities coming in. You could see...
Oh, yeah.
We had talked about Dispel. If there's Spell Snares in his sideboard, you could see those coming in.
Definitely more Stubs if there's in the side.
Yeah, more Stubborn Denials if they're in the side. And then the one card that I'd really be looking to see out of Nate's sideboard is going to be Teamer Battle Rage.
Oh, yeah, just to close out the game faster.
Yeah, that is one of the scariest cards from Joey's side of the table. That really puts the pressure on you to think about how much damage you're dealing to your opponent.
Yep.
Because it can just kill you out of nowhere. That was always back before Taxi and Probe got banned, when these decks were full on aggro. They're playing Goblin Guide, Swift Spear, Step Links, Wild in the Coddle. Playing the burn matchup like that, you would hope to get in some early damage with your creatures. They were dealing a lot more damage to themselves back then. And so you would always...
Also, Mark did have a lot of successes putting that thing on the ground.
Anyway, so...
I know that's weird.
Yeah. So what you would do is you would try to get in some early damage with your creatures if you could, and then you would just hope they deal enough damage to themselves, and then you could hit them with the burn spells, and the way you prevent them from killing you was just chump blocking.
Yep, so I saw a rip coming in from Joey and a Teamer Battle Rage from Nate.
Yeah, so again, Teamer Battle Rage is one of those cards that can really just take 2 to 3 turns off the clock for Nate, and then Rip for Joey is one of those cards that can stop the early delve threats.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the cards we'll probably see coming in for Joey is probably some number of rips, some number of paths.
Maybe a bridge if he has it.
Yeah, bridge is okay in this matchup. Colligan's Command is already a card Nate's going to want to have in like the later stages of the game.
He still wants to see them.
Yeah, well, yeah, bridge will probably buy him like 1 to 3 turns, which is definitely like something you could definitely have work for you.
Yeah.
So it looks like we're going to game number 2 here with Joey Murphy up a game.
And Nate on the play.
Yeah, Nate's on the play, which is very important.
We see Spellbomb.
Niall's Spellbomb is weird in Nate's deck post-board, which leads me to believe that he doesn't believe that he has enough cards in his sideboard to board out, or board in, for all the cards he wants to board out. And you're going to see him throw the hand back.
Joey's hand is stacked.
It looked like
triple bolt and 2 Boros Charm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That is a hand that's going to easily lose the Teamer Battle Rage, though.
And Liliana, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that hand could definitely be problematic against Liliana. Liliana's basically going to be, with that hand, make Joey discard 2 cards.
Yeah,
like
probably
3 mana discard 2 cards.
2 lightning bolts.
No, it's going to be make him probably discard a lightning bolt, and then it's going to probably eat a Boros Charm.
Yep.
But
so
yeah, Nate's going down to 5 here, which is unfortunate. We're hoping people play Magic, and
I mean, he can still play Magic at 5.
He can definitely still play Magic at 5. Like 2 fetch lands, Thought Scour, Fatal Push, Tassiger.
All right.
That's probably his ideal 5-card hand here. That's a very easy kill your 1-drop on turn 2 and play Tassiger. So we'll see here what Nate's 5-card hand looks like. Terminate, Bolt, Swamp, Collective Brutality.
All right,
yeah.
we got a hand.
This is
like the best.
This is very close to. This is one like Gurmag, Angler, Death Shadow, or Tassiger away from the ideal starting hand for Nate. He's got. You probably just lead off on Polluted Delta, so that you can bolt the turn 1 play if you feel the need
and get
to.
Your red source.
Yeah, but honestly, if Joey just plays a turn 1 creature here, which we know he doesn't have. Joey will probably just. He's just gonna Lava Spike, and then Nate's probably just gonna fetch. He's not even gonna fetch because he knew Thought Scour was on top of his deck.
Yep. I mean, that does leave a weird setup. If he wants red source, he has to go to 14. But since he has Collective Brutality,
not seeing a turn 1 creature from Joey, I'm not super in a hurry to play out this Collective Brutality. So we see Monastery Swift Spear drawn from Joey here, and we're going to see what he decides to do with these Lightning Bolts in his hand. If he plays Lightning Bolt now, which we're going to see him do, then that's the max amount of damage he can get, but it does leave his creature vulnerable to Collective Brutality, which is definitely something you need to be thinking about as the burn player in this matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, so if I was Nate, I would not terminate this here. Like, I don't...
That's more damage, right? That is.
Yeah,
more.
I don't like fetch shocking here. It can be cleaned up with Collective Brutality, and I especially don't like using Bolt here. If you're gonna fetch shock,
well, okay, so actually it's the same, because he's going to fetch no matter what.
He's gonna fetch no matter what. I still don't like using Bolt. I think you should use Terminate. You know your opponent didn't have a turn 1 creature, and they didn't have like an Eidolon on turn 2. Although Joey does run Shrine of Burning Rage, which Nate doesn't know about. He doesn't know if his opponent is on Eidolon or Shrine. Yeah, I don't know that I necessarily like that play from Nate. He is, if he wants to here, able to Thought Scour himself and then play a Tasigur. So I think what Nate was setting up here is he wants to Bolt and then discard Terminate.
All right.
Which now that I see that line, I think it's still fine. I would have liked probably to have
so you take
Bolt
a Boros
more. Oh, you definitely take Boros Charm. There's no question about that. That's just more damage you get out of his hands. And because there's 2 of each, you're not really that worried about mana efficiency.
Yeah, you're right.
Like from that hand, if he would be dead in 3 turns, assuming no land is drawn.
I mean, if Joey just needs to draw.
He's taking Lightning Bolt, so that means he wants to capitalize on his opponent's shortage of mana.
All right.
And it looks like Rift Bolt John from Joey here. So
I like suspending the Rift Bolt right here.
Yeah, you want to suspend the Rift Bolt and then leave up Lightning Bolt and probably cast that at the end of the turn. And on his turn, we're probably going to see Nate.
Or that's a Boros Charm.
Thought Scour. Yeah, either way, it doesn't really matter. I always like suspending Rift Bolt as soon as I can.
Because
it takes a turn to cast it.
It's more damage overall.
It's more damage in the long run.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to see this Thought Scour with Nate targeting himself, and then he's going to play Tasigur. See a copy of Opt in his hand. We'll see if that becomes relevant.
If we could like update life totals here soon, that'd be very helpful for us.
I believe Joey's life total is correct, and Nate should be at 9, I believe.
All right, I believe you.
Because he was 11, he he Collective Brutality, Drain Gain, and Duress. And this is one of the reasons I liked keeping that Bolt in hand for Nate. Is without Bolt, this Tasigur is a 4-turn clock.
Yep.
And with Bolt, it's a 3-turn clock. And this is a matchup where racing and how fast you can kill your opponent definitely does matter.
Yeah, so suspend the Bolt. Yeah, now you suspend the Rift Bolt.
Yeah, over the course of 2 turns, it really doesn't matter how he does it. It only really would have mattered if...
I like Joey. I do like Joey Bolt in here because he is tapped out.
Yeah, with no Death Shadow on the table, you definitely want to cast your burn spells as soon as you can so they don't get countered.
So Nate should be at 6. Nate should be at 6.
Yeah, unless I'm doing math somewhere wrong, I'm pretty sure Nate should be at 6.
Yeah, which is very possible.
And that actually leaves him dead on the table to the Rift Bolt and the Boros Charm.
Yeah, and like that Stubborn Denial is way too late.
Yeah, that Stubborn Denial is just too late. You're going to see here, he's going to pass the turn. And this is another, like, he didn't draw his 3rd land again. And if he drew his 3rd land and was able to double spell at some point in this game, then...
He might be in it.
He definitely probably would be in it.
Well, like, he still has to answer, everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we were right about life totals. That's going to be game and match 2-0 for Joey Murphy over Nate Lang. And that's one of these things about the newer versions of Death Shadow that play a lot more, almost like Delver.
Yep.
Where, unless they draw like triple Death Shadows, it's a pretty good matchup for burn. You don't have to worry too much about dying too quickly.
Unless you're like a turn 2 Gurmag or
Yeah, turn
Dassig.
2 Gurmag, turn 2 Dassiger is all like the only thing you really need to worry about unless there's Death Shadow. If there's a Death Shadow present like there was game 1, it turns into a completely different game.
Like the dynamic of the game does change because like now they have an efficient threat.
Yeah, now the dynamic of the game definitely does change a lot when there's a Death Shadow involved.
Yeah. Well, we can try and find another game for you guys. If not, we see you guys in 30.
Yep.
All
See you then.
Yeah, see ya.